Hey everyone, this is Acid Roots. I've got a new review for you. So this is Lil Jon, and before I get started with that, I'm going to bring up something. I cannot find my review pattern. So, the thing that I kind of look like, I'm looking away. There's a little sheet that I have for all my reviews, and I don't have it. So I'm just going to kind of wing it and we'll see how this review turns out. Naturally, if this turns out to be the most different review, well, maybe I'll do it more often. But this is Lil Jon's Crunk Juice and came out in 2004. And I remember that, around that time, he just was all over the place. Some people say it's because of Dave Chappelle, that was the reason, but I don't. I mean, he probably had over 10 songs on the radio that year, and that's what I consider running a year in rap. I mean, Usher's Yeah, Sierra's Goodies. I mean, he was even crossing over into R&B a little bit. But really, the sound is just some Crunk stuff, and Crunk was kind of culminating in 2004, and I thought, well, um, the problem with it was just we needed something different just because I think people really got tired of Lil Jon had the same production style, so every beat sounded similar to another one. That's the only reason I think. It wasn't necessarily that people were getting tired of Crunk. It was just that, Goodies sounded like Yeah, and you know, the Petey Pablo song and trying to think of who else was around that time. Yeah, just a bunch of those cats. You just go back to 2004 and you could pretty much hear some of them. But, when he came back in 2006, I remember the song Snap Your Fingers. And, that one, he was going to drop Crunk Rock back then, but he just didn't do it. Just didn't do it. So, what that meant was the problem with it was just trying to break new ground again. And so really the the thing about trying to break new ground and everything is it's not easy. I mean, Lil Jon did create Crunk, and then people were essentially expecting him to do something new again, which isn't that's not a simple thing just to create a new genre. That's kind of like people were just asking for too much for him. So he burnt out and he took, a decent portion of the last decade off. But he has managed to put out some radio songs here and there. He hooked up with LMFAO and everything, so he did manage to kind of do it. But this album, I kind of wanted to review Lil Jon. The only reason I'm doing this is just because he's someone that you could find at the gathering of the Juggalos. So these are people that I would like to do just because I'm trying to get that sound. So obviously, if you're saying, well, Lil Jon, he didn't seem like it. This sort of rap is a little bit more commercial, but there's some songs on here that sound as if you would really get smashed to them. And that's something that Lil Jon's known for. That's essentially what Crunk is just getting completely gone. And really, that's okay. A lot of these records, unfortunately, the production just doesn't stand up. And I guess I could talk about that a little bit. But before I do that, I'm going to talk about the records you can smoke too. There's some smooth club songs here that they're not necessarily soft core club songs, but they're a little bit rougher and they work really well. So Bitches Ain't Shit has Nate Dogg on there, and Lovers and Friends has the original, the Yeah Trio on there. Usher, Ludacris, and then In the Club has Ludacris and R. Kelly. So these are all some gnarly club songs that kind of are a little bit commercial, but kind of blur the lines between it. So you don't really get, I mean, Lil Jon is not necessarily, he's not soft by any means. Crunk Juice is going to be some real gnarled up shit. But the good part about it, there's a gnat in here. The good part about it is that, well, you can definitely do what Lil Jon's doing. I mean, there's not as many records like Bust Your Head and things like that. And, the rowdy fight starters are not here, but there is a couple other songs, and these are some of the weaker moments, like Stick That Thing Out was kind of weak. This didn't fit the mold of what he was trying to do. I mean, Lil Jon is known as a party starter and keeping you going all night, and these songs just did not take care of it. Skeet Skeet, even though it has a Dave Chappelle little excerpt in there, it's not that good of a song. Contract was kind of, I mean, some of these were just awkward production. They just didn't fit the sound of what he was trying to do. I know you have to be different, but I just can't figure out what these songs were supposed to be. I mean, we know we're not expecting poetry out of Lil Jon. This is not something that I really feel is what was meant to happen. So, you just do what you're best at, because that's, he is a hype man. I think that's what he originally was. So, and then What You Gon' Do, that one's just kind of really bland production. This blah, I couldn't, just a throwaway rap song, really. But I will talk about the songs you can smoke to if I haven't done that. Bitches Ain't Shit, One Night Stand, or Bitches Ain't Shit, In the Club, The Blow, Get Crunk, Real Nigga Roll Call, White Meat. Those are 6 songs for you to puff to, and they're really good. But I think the production was another thing. So those beats that I mentioned you could smoke to are really good. I think Bitches Ain't Shit's just really smooth, and Real Nigga Roll Call really sounds like you're getting, like real bent, real up, real, you're getting lifted, everything. Things are just getting quicker, White Meat's rock bass. There's a couple rock bass songs on here, and one of them works. White Meat's one of them. Don't Fuck With Me kind of works. I'd give that an almost song, but you just have to deal with it. So there are 14 songs on this album. There's some Chris Rock skits and an E40 skit, but really, yeah, there's 7 out of 14 of them that are good. So Bitches Ain't Shit, In the Club, Lovers and Friends, White Meat, The Blow, Real Nigga Roll Call, and Get Crunk. So those are the ones that I would recommend. Get Crunk really sounds kind of, woozy. The Blow, that one kind of got a pretty hits you right away beat. I feel like that one's worthwhile. Real Nigga Roll Call sounds really up and going. So does White Meat. These are some of the rowdier songs. And then I think the remaining 3 are just softer club records. Now, he does collaborate with someone that he's done collaborations with before, and that song is One Night Stand. That's close, but she just doesn't quite nail it. I just didn't feel it that much. So One Night Stand was close, and Don't Fuck With Me was another one. And then you can always add What You Go Do if you just like Lil Jon. So that's 3 extra. That would make 10 out of 14, but I only like 7. So what that means is, obviously Crunk was all over the place in 2004. Lil Scrappy is someone I'd check out. And probably, more on that sound, I would just go straight for 3-6 Mafia. Like, they do it much better. The production is handled more, and they know what they're doing. They've been doing it for a while. Project Pat, and check out some Lil White, check out some ICP. These guys get pretty gnarled, and I know that's what you want. So go that way, go that direction. This is just like the front. This is just the gate for that music, so that's the reason why I did it. But alright, I'm gonna give this album a 5 out of 10. Just because there weren't nearly enough good produced songs, and the almost songs, I think it really takes some effort to like them. So there's that. And yeah, so I give this album a 5, and I barely recommend it. And as for a social score, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. Just because Lil Jon has always been someone that people can, recognize. He can get you excited. He's someone that you should want to know just because he knows how to control the crowd and everything. And I mean, more than that, he's just a fun person, probably. So I did have fun with this record, just not enough. So I give this album a 5 out of 10 and a 6.5 social. Subscribe for more fun.